Jim is 28 years old. He lives with his parents and younger brother in a small terrace house. He doesn't have many friends, but he does have a steady girlfriend. He eats fast food and drives his girlfriend around in his car. He smokes 5 cigarettes a day. He has a physically active job as a bricklayer, but he doesn't see the point in doing physical exercise as well because he is physically active in his job. He likes to relax with his girlfriend in the evenings because he feels tired from work. If Jim begins to exercise, then he will benefit by making new friends and enjoying himself. Jim is already physically fit because he is a bricklayer, so he might find that he excels at exercise, so he will feel a sense of fulfillment. If Jim and his girlfriend did a sport together, then they would bond and make their relationship stronger, and they would help each other with motivation. If Jim were to take up exercise, he would probably stop smoking and eat more healthily because he would want to do the best he can at getting fit. One barrier to exercise for Jim is that he has few friends. He might not feel confident going to a gym or joining a sports club or class. This is an emotional barrier. The motivational barrier that Jim has is that he doesn't see the purpose of exercising because he has a physical job. Jim feels lethargic because he has an unhealthy diet and an inactive lifestyle, and this will stop him from feeling like exercising because he won't have enough energy. I'm going to talk about the trans-theoretical model of behaviour change and discuss how it can help Jim to become more active. There are 5 stages. The first stage is the pre-contemplation stage, which is where Jim is now. Jim has not thought about exercising outside of his work, and he is not considering change. For Jim to progress to the next stage, contemplation, he needs someone or something to put the idea of exercise into his head. For example, he might watch the program Horizon, which explains the benefits of exercise. He might evaluate the pros and cons of exercising, which at first will be evenly balanced, but the pros will begin to outweigh the cons over time. When Jim realizes that he can improve his health, he will move on to the preparation stage. In the preparation stage, Jim will plan change and will seek support from his girlfriend and family. Then Jim will be ready for the action stage. This is where Jim will substitute unhealthy behaviour, such as driving around in the car, with physical activity, such as playing sport. In the final stage, maintenance, Jim will ensure that he continues to participate in sport by thinking about how much better he feels. However, it is very easy to go back to relapse and go back to previous stages. Jim needs to be invited by a friend or anybody he knows to take part in some sort of sport. He would be good at this, and it would motivate him to get active. It does not need to be a health professional. John is 25 and he lives with 3 flatmates. He is single, but he has lots of friends and he is a social person. John drinks heavily at weekends and often eats fast food such as curries and Chinese takeaway. He is overweight. He doesn't smoke. In the past, when he has tried to exercise, he has had a repetitive knee injury. John doesn't see the point of exercise except from walking to work. John would prefer spending his free time playing video games or watching sport, but not playing it. One benefit of exercise for John is that he will enjoy meeting new people and making friends if he takes part in exercise. The most important benefit for John is that he will lose weight. He might also eat more healthily and drink less alcohol because he will be trying to get fit. If he does the right exercise, he might help his knee injury. He will be less sedentary and will be less likely to develop deep vein thrombosis or coronary heart disease. One barrier to exercise for John is that he drinks heavily at weekends and eats fast food often. He is not putting the right things into his body, so he will feel tired and will lack energy, and this will make him less motivated to exercise. Being overweight is a barrier because he might have self-confidence issues, and it makes exercise more difficult and less enjoyable. John's knee injury is a barrier because it might limit what he thinks he can do and what he can actually do. John doesn't think there is any point in exercising, and this is a big motivational barrier. The theory of planned behaviour helps to explain why John doesn't exercise. It is made up of 3 different components. 1. Behaviour attitudes. This is where a person perceives positive or negative impacts of a behaviour. John believes that exercising is pointless, which is a belief that exercise would have a negative impact on his life. 2. Subjective norms. This is the environmental factor, things around a person such as friends or family. In John's case, his friends are having a negative impact on him exercising because at weekends he goes out drinking and eats unhealthy food with them. 3. Perceived behavioural controls is about whether John believes he has the ability to become physically active. John does not believe that he has any control over how fit he becomes. In terms of the theory of planned behaviour, the health professional needs to change John's behavioural attitudes to exercise by explaining to him what the benefits of exercise are, such as losing weight, getting rid of his knee injury, making new friends, and having a fun time. In terms of the subjective norms, the health professional will get his friends to support John and possibly be active with him. In terms of perceived behavioural control, the health professional needs to instill confidence into John by making him feel in control and able to exercise. Julie is 35 years old and she lives on her own. She loves going out with her friends and dressing up, but her friends don't exercise either. She drinks alcohol mainly at the weekend and she smokes 20 cigarettes a day. She understands the benefits of exercise, but she says she doesn't take part in physical activity because she doesn't have enough money and she thinks she will be rubbish at it. She hates herself in tight clothing and doesn't want anybody else to see her exercising. She says that her mum was overweight and had a heart attack, but Julie thinks she is not as bad as her mother. One benefit for Julie starting to exercise is that she can improve her health and possibly prevent herself having a heart attack like her mother. Another benefit is that Julie is social and exercise will give her the opportunity to meet new people. If Julie gets interested in exercise, then she might also give up smoking because she will be thinking about becoming more healthy. Taking part in exercise might improve Julie's self-confidence and might make her feel better about her body image. The first barrier for Julie is her friends, because they don't do any exercise and she enjoys drinking and smoking with them. They encourage unhealthy behaviour. The second barrier for Julie is that she can't afford to exercise. However, if she didn't spend money drinking and smoking, she would be able to afford to exercise. Julie has self-confidence issues. She believes that she won't be good at exercise before she's even tried it. She is embarrassed to wear tight clothes, and this is another emotional barrier. Although Julie's mother has had a heart attack, Julie thinks that she isn't as bad as her mother, and she doesn't think she needs to change anything. The health belief model has 4 stages. Perceived threats, which is made up of perceived susceptibility, which is when an individual recognises possible risk to themselves from a behaviour. In Julie's case, she is at risk of heart attack, but she doesn't recognise the risk. There is also perceived severity, which is how serious the individual perceives the consequences of her behaviour. Julie should be shocked that her mother has had a heart attack and she is at risk, but she does not recognise the seriousness of the threat. The health belief model says that there are benefits and barriers to behaviours. The benefits for Julie are being healthy and staying alive. The barriers are that Julie doesn't have self-confidence and she has a very unhealthy lifestyle. The health belief model says that there are cues for action. These can be internal factors such as wanting to change and external factors such as somebody else wanting Julie to change. The final stage is self-efficacy, which means how competent an individual feels about achieving a goal. Julie would need to believe that she is able to achieve her fitness. Using the health belief model, the first thing a health professional would need to do would be to change Julie's perception of the risk of having a heart attack and drawing her attention to the severity of the consequences. The health professional would explain to Julie the beneficial effects of exercise and discuss with her what the barriers to her exercising are. The health professional would encourage Julie to exercise and help her to join a fun, charismatic, and interesting exercise class with her friends, maybe dancing because it would be fun. The health professional would help Julie to feel confident by making her believe that she is able to change.